The demonic cult leader is my wife. Jin Yomyong said to himself, all right, now I need to move, quickly. It's like my mind has gone completely blank. Jin Yomyong fell to the ground and said, ha. Guchil said, are you sure you'll be all right, young master? We should prepare. Jin Yomyong said, yeah, I should. From here on out, it's a race against time. I have to go to the Heavenly Intelligence Pavilion, and I need a plan to keep Cheon Yujong in check. Guchil said, no, that's not what I meant. The clan head is going to try to kill you, because you went and did this out of your own accord. Jin Yomyong sat up and said to himself, ah. Jo Jinsang said, ha ha ha, you've returned safely. I heard all about the mess you caused, the news about destroying the Lesser Demon Hall too. So when you said that she could be happier with someone better and you'll step aside for her, was that what you meant? Jin Yomyong said, that wasn't what I was thinking of. And it's not like I gave up either. Jo Jinsang said, ha. Jin Yomyong said, why are you looking at me like I'm some kid? He said to himself, one step back to move 2 steps forward is a solid strategy. However, between a man and a woman, it's not a strategy or formula, it's a matter of the heart. Jo Jinsang said, you take 1 step back and you might end up 10 steps away. It won't be easy to make up for this mistake with ordinary effort. When you should have been up, close, biting, kissing and holding her tight, you ran away instead. Tisk, tisk, Guchil said to himself, what an old man way of putting it. Though I do agree with the point. Jo Jinsang said, oh right, someone from the Jin clan came by. Jin Yomyong said to himself, did the clan head send them to kill me? Jin Yomyong said, why are you here? Jin Yaowoon said, why else? I came on the clan head's orders. Jin Yomyong said, you look like you've gotten bigger. Jin Yaowoon said, yeah. Jin Yomyong said, did he tell you to kill me? Jin Yaowoon said, no, not really. He told me to help you out. From here on, you'll be facing the rest of the 6 clans more and more, so he said to draw on the Jin clan's strength without holding back. Jin Yomyong said, the Jin clan's strength? To what extent? Jin Yaowoon said, the full extent. He said he really did feel like killing you, seeing you stir things up without any discussion. But he also said your odds aren't bad, so he'll back you up for now. Jin Yomyong trembled in fear as he said, I see. Jin Yaowoon said, oh, and this is from the SA clan. He took out a letter. Jin Yomyong said, the SA clan? He opened the letter. It said, I'll kill you. Jin Yomyong said, every stroke is trembling with rage. Jin Yaowoon took off his robe and said, it's been a while. How about a round? Jin Yomyong said, that doesn't sound bad. He said to himself, ho? As Jin Yaowoon put down his robe, Jin Yomyong said to himself, he didn't just get bigger. As Jin Yaowoon popped his neck, Jin Yomyong said to himself, his fighting spirit's been refined too, and more than anything. Jin Yaowoon charged and said, ha! His fist came close to Jin Yomyong's face. Jin Yomyong said to himself, before his reach would have ended right about here. He evaded and said to himself, but now, unlike before when he just stretched his arm out and swung, he's using his shoulders, shoulder blades, and waist to extend even farther. But you've gotten more flexible. Back then, I took your advice to heart. Jin Yaowoon said, and that's not all. His aura raged. Suddenly, Jin Yaowoon's shirt ripped from his muscles. Smoke came out of his mouth as he showed off his Asura physique. Jin Yaowoon said, I can do this too. Then how about we? Jin Yomyong said, wait. You're not even at the supreme peak, so how are you using the Asura physique? Jin Yaowoon said, you told me that with my body I could learn the Asura physique even like this. Jin Yomyong said to himself, I thought it was just his attitude toward martial arts that had changed. Jin Yomyong said, tie your robe properly at the waist. Jin Yaowoon said, one of the 6 clans. Jin Yomyong said to himself, that must be because of the Asura physique too. Jin Yaowoon said, it's hot. His body steamed. Jin Yomyong sweated and said to himself, his level of talent is different. He has a rare heaven-sent talent that isn't inferior to Baeksanga. Jin Yaowoon punched Jin Yomyong with his words, saying, for the alliance to mean anything, the other side should be at least from the 6 clans, someone of the same standing. But who do I even know besides you? Jin Yomyong said to himself. The 6 clans, a prospective young cult leader of a similar age, and a temper. Well, this guy's the type to bully the weak and fear the strong, so maybe it'll be fine? Jin Yaowoon said, teach. It was a perfect chance too. But I can't just carelessly reveal the clan's secret arts, so there's nothing I can do about it. He picked up his robe. Jin Yomyong said, that is. At a distance, a fat man said, what a shame. I was hoping for a better show. She's really going to be that petty just because I skipped the Elder Council meeting a few times. She said she'll throw you in the demonic JOK for half a year if I don't come. So I just need to teach one of you the blade arts? He was 12th Elder Yama Blade Mujin. Cheon Yonga had said before, if you're thinking of earning the recognition of the Extreme Blades Pei clan, I'm not the right person. I only learned blade arts as a supporting tool. If you show them a crude imitation or some half-baked modification, it'll backfire. Jin Yomyong said, then what should I do? Cheon Yonga said, I'll send you a true master who'll teach you the true essence of the blade arts from start to finish. Jin Yomyong said to himself, I wasn't expecting that master to be the Yama blade. Mujin said, everyone get inside. From now on it's private training time. A Sura physique. At that age, your younger brother is a prodigy. Jin Yomyong said, yes, if it's him, he'll become one of the heavenly demon divine cult's pillars. Mujin said, that just makes me even more curious. He took his sword. Jin Yomyong said to himself, here he comes. Mujin said, just how great would your talents be? He dashed towards Jin Yomyong. Jin Yomyong gritted his teeth as their swords clashed. The ground shattered as dust covered the area. Jin Yomyong slid away. His hand trembled as he said to himself, damn it, Mujin said. Impressive. More than anything, what interests me is that you weren't going all out just now. Jin Yomyong said, so you noticed. It's an honor to receive instructions from you. Mujin said, for the next week you have time to learn blade arts from me. Jin Yomyong said to himself, 1 week. In that week, I'll make the essence of the blade arts mine no matter what. Mujin said, now then, what is a blade? Jin Yomyong said, I don't know, that's honest. Even in the Central Plains, the difference between sword and blade still hasn't been clearly defined. Explaining it as merely double-edged versus single-edged leaves too much unaccounted for. Mujin said right. Some say swordsmanship focuses on thrusting, while blade arts focus on cutting. However, there are sword techniques that mainly cut, and blade techniques where thrusting is the main attack. That being said, in the blade arts as defined by the Extreme Blades Pei clan, there's one element that must be included no matter what. Jin Yomyong said, what is it? Mujin smiled and said, wait, whether you use a straight blade or a curved blade, whether you unleash a fast blade or spread out some flashy illusory blade, those don't matter. However, no matter what, your strikes must contain the subtle principle of heaviness. Jin Yomyong sweated and said to himself, it's heavy. Mujin said, from now on, footwork and movement techniques are forbidden. Weight begins with correcting your own center of gravity. Become a deep-rooted tree. Become Mount Taesan. Their swords clashed. Jin Yomyong said, He said to himself, 6 more days. Cheon Jumyong said, welcome. I didn't think you'd really come. I was really looking forward to seeing you, young master Jin Yomyong of the Jin clan. Jin Yomyong said, I brought the application documents. Cheon Jumyong said, we also need to come to an agreement with Cheonil Academy, so your formal entry will be in a month. Oh, and there's one thing you must keep in mind. Leaving the Heavenly Intelligence Pavilion means the same thing as leaving as a corpse, so make sure you work hard to ensure I don't end up at odds with the Jin clan. Jin Yomyong said, sure. Cheon Jumyong turned away and said, then we'll meet again in a month. Jin Yomyong said to himself, Cheon Jumyong, a man at the pinnacle of power and someone who has shown pro-Cheon Yura moves. However, at the same time, he is a prime suspect in the Cheon clan civil war that dealt Cheon Yura a blow. Alright, let's uncover the truth one piece at a time. As Cheon Jumyong looked back at Jin Yomyong, Heavenly Demon Cheon Taejong had said before, so you dumped Yura? Cheon Jumyong was silent. Heavenly Demon Cheon Taejong said, how insolent. Cheon Jumyong said to himself, well, thanks to that, I'll enjoy watching how the scheming you who earned the cult leader's recognition will bloom inside the Heavenly Intelligence Pavilion. A few moments later, an elder said, excellent. You have perfectly learned our martial arts and reached a realm beyond your years, Chan Yuzheng. Here and now, the 5 elders present acknowledge that you have proven your right to stand in the Central Plains in the name of the Chan clan. Cheon Yuzheng said, thank you. Another elder said, at your current level, you'd have decent odds even against the young cult leader, wouldn't you? Her friend said, but you won't be satisfied with just that, will you? Cheon Yuzheng said, I will become the next supreme one of our divine cult, cleanly put the Central Plains in order, and achieve a demonic dominion over the world. She said to herself, that's what you want to hear, right? An elder said, those weak Central Plains fools will never be able to stop us. Her friend said, it's a waste for the current cult leader who's letting that absolute power rot away to bear the name of the heavenly demon. First, let's set a plan to tarnish the young cult leader's reputation and qualifications. Another said, right. As long as the cult leader is still standing, we need justification. Cheon Yuzheng said to herself, how tiresome. For now, I'm only matching their tune because I need them, and our goals overlap a little. An elder said, to set the stage, I need help from the other 6 clans. The Huan clan alone isn't enough. There's no need to clash head-on, is there? How about using them? Cheon Yuzheng said to herself, no matter what they say, only one is my true goal. The elder continued to say, those worms, they're perfect to use and throw away. Then should we contact him? Cheon Yuzheng said, Cheon Yura, She said to herself, I'll take back everything that thing stole from me and I'll get revenge. I'll make you fall, Chion Yura, as much as I fell. At the 10,000 Mountains, 9 Heaven's first blade peak, the place where the Extreme Blades Pei clan resides. A soldier said, if you wish to pass through this gate, you only need to answer one question. Jin Yomyong said to himself, The soldier said, if you are acquainted with a young cult leader, you should be able to answer it easily. What is the nickname of Hyun Yanggu, a famous martial artist known across the world? Jin Yomyong said, the Blade Supreme? The soldiers clapped their hands and said, correct, as Jin Yomyong and the others entered. Guchil said, aren't these guys completely insane? Jin Yomyong said, let's talk with frequency whispering technique. A man met them and said, welcome, first young Master Jin. I am the chief steward of the Extreme Blades Pei clan. Forgive my rudeness, but due to the young cult leader's schedule, you will need to wait for about 4 hours. Would that be all right? Guchil said, confused. What? How could you make a first young master of the 6 clans? Jin Yomyong said, Guchil, it's our fault for coming, without prior notice. I'll wait. The chief steward of the Extreme Blades Pei clan said, thank you for your understanding, but if I may I ask why you've come? Jin Yomyong smiled and said to himself, to join forces with the Jin clan, stop the Cheon clan's internal subversive movements, and form an alliance that will support the young cult leader in the... And Jin Yomyong said, I came to have a match with the young clan head. The chief steward of the Extreme Blades Pei clan said, oh, we can't lose a chance like that. He clapped his hands. Jin Yomyong and Guchil said, confused. Huh? The chief steward of the Extreme Blades Pei clan said, it's possible your meeting with the young clan head may be delayed a bit. Jin Yomyong said to himself, even later, why? Guchil said, young master, I don't know the details, but it sounds like things have gotten tangled. What do you think? Jin Yomyong said, be quiet. Guchil said, we are already using the frequency whispering technique, you know. A few moments later, Guchil said, but young master, why did you come on purpose without prior notice? Jin Yomyong said, because right now we need to move in secret and quickly. Some of them probably sensed the intent behind my declaration to forfeit the exchange ceremony, and may be watching my every move tomorrow. Therefore, as much as possible.
A lady opened the door and said, I heard from the chief steward that you're here to duel.
Jin Yomyong said, Lady Pei Yongyong? No, you're not. Extreme Blades Pei Clan Young Clan Head Proxy Pei Seolyong said, you have a good eye. She came in and said, it seems you're desperate for the Pei Clan's strength. Jin Yomyong stood up and said to himself, she's sharp. Pei Seolyong said, I know the divine cult's flow of energy is unstable. However, the Extreme Blades Pei clan has already gathered its opinion to pull out in case of an emergency. Jin Yomyong said to himself, this is troublesome. Jin Yomyong said, it seems I'm quite late. He sweated. Pei Seolyong said, not necessarily. There's an impudent outside evaluation that our Extreme Blades Pei clan is a group that charges in without thinking. Guchil, Nether Crow, and Jin Yomyong said to themselves. Pei Seolyong said, that seems accurate, sounds exactly right. I can't deny there are a few such people, though only a very small number. The clan stance I mentioned earlier is the conclusion of a meeting I led as the representative of those people. In truth, those people don't even know about the current situation, and they aren't particularly interested, so if you persuade them, you'll get what you want. Those people are Pei War-yang and Pei Yong-yang. Pei Seolyong continued to say, of course, that is if you can seize the chance to meet them. To stand before my older sister, you'll have to prove your blade soul. If I'm not mistaken, I heard you're a swordsman? Jin Yomyong stood up and said, if that's what you mean, you're right. Though who would be foolish enough to bring a sword into the Extreme Blades Pei clan? Pei Seolyong said, so right now you're saying you'll pick up a blade and stand before my older sister? Her fist trembled. Jin Yomyong said, yeah. Pei Seolyong said, confused. Really? Jin Yomyong said, really? Jin Yomyong sweated and said to himself, why is she glaring at me like she wants to kill me? As Pei Seolyong raged in anger. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider sharing my videos or channel with your friends who might also enjoy it. Your support means the world to me and helps my channel grow. Let's keep this community thriving together. Until next time, see you in the next video.